Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Wanjama from Seed Savers Network. I'm happy to welcome you to this dialogue. And I'm also an Inofo Council member. We shall be hearing more about that. You can see this one. Is it this one? Yes. And yeah, I'm very happy to have you today. And we are going to have a dialogue today. We all understand there is an upcoming UN Food System Summit. We are going to have a dialogue today. And of course, before we have a dialogue, we are going to have two experts explaining to us a bit on what UN Food System Summit is. But before we start, I want to invite the Secretary General of Inofo, International Network of Organic Farmers Organization, to come and explain to us a bit, or just do a small introduction of Inofo, so that we get to understand what it is, because Inofo is the host today. So I want to welcome you, Famara. I don't know whether you can hear me wherever you are. Famara, you must be. And myself, I am in Kenya. Famara, are you there?
Donc, qu'est-ce que Inofo?
What is Inofo?
Inofo est une structure
Inofo is a structure
auto-organisée
which is self-organized
de l'IFOA.
in IFOAM, within IFOAM. All of us that are here, we know what is IFOAM.
Et parmi ces
Inofo is amongst those that are in IFOAM.
parmi ces rôles, c'est de faciliter les
And
relations
its role is to facilitate the relationship between organizations of producers,
d'avoir une plateforme
which will allow it to consult and cooperate, and at the national level and even at the regional level,
dans les négociations internationales.
to speak with legitimate common voice, raising their concerns in forum.
Principalement
And we'll understand that Inofo is an organization
de audition.
which is doing the advocacy.
Ça facilite donc les relations
Donc, it facilitates the relationships amongst its members in the world,
et connectées à travers
and we connect through different networks.
en Asie,
We do have 315 in Africa, 225 in Africa,
du Nord,
26 in North America, and these are organizations
sont connus
that are working in organic farming.
cartographie. Il y a de cela
And we've done this mapping 5 years ago,
cartographie qu'on a
and we are trying to put it, to update it,
biologiste
the number of
à travers
farmers that are members of Inofo in the world.
toujours sur cette carte
And on this map,
le nombre d'organisations.
not only we do have the numbers of organizations, we do also the numbers of farmers.
Maintenant, pourquoi
And why
il nous faut
did we create Inofo? Why was Inofo created? Inofo was created
le programme
to
les
look at the programs, the interest of organic farmers should be discussed, should be promoted by these farmers.
C'est parce que
So we created it because
forum de
in
discussion
different forums, the discussions on organic farming,
pour que les
there was no space that was created where the organic farmers could also involve. Why did we create it?
organisations
It's because amongst the organizations of farmers,
capacité
there are no capacities to influence
décision.
the discussions.
Pourquoi on a créé le forum? C'est parce
We created Inofo because we had the need of a big platform that represent the voice of all the farmers in the organic sector, so that together we can have our program. And I think that's why we created INOFO, so that the international institutions, have influence in the agriculture.
Si on peut, par où on est passé jusqu'à être là. Les premières réflexions sur INOFO,
the first reflections,
il y a de cela donc 13 ans,
which are up to today,
d'un congrès de l'agriculture biologique qui s'est tenu à Rome.
We had a congress of organic farming, which was in Korea, to say that agriculture, the first,
Et de moins en moins, dans les congrès qui parlent de l'agriculture biologique,
in the congress,
pas accès à la parole. Il faudrait qu'on change ça.
we need to change that.
Les réflexions ont commencé en 2008.
The reaction started in 2008, in 2011, during our congress of, there was a lot of space so that the farmers could be represented. So there were spaces for farmers. In 2011, we had 20 farmers who were delegates. So in 2014, we went to 54. In 2015, in one congress, we had what we call the forum, farmers forum, for the first time, that will allow these farmers to see.
Ceci s'est passé en Afrique en 2015 au Nigeria.
This is in 2015 in Nigeria.
Entre 2014 et 2016,
between 2014 and 2016, we started developing some relationship with IFAD so that we can tell them why INOFO was created. We had the relationship with IFAD, which supported our program of capacity building for these farmers organizations. So that allowed us to do the mapping that I showed you. In 2017, between 2011, we had 20 farmers in 2011 and 54 in 2014. And in 2017, we had 88 delegates that represented the organic farmers. That where we had the new council. This is to let you that INOFO has got also a council of conveners that represent all these organizations. And in these councils, there are some activities that are considered by the council. Every 3 years, these are some images, pictures, just to show you the journey that we have undertaken from 2018. As you can see, we do have our president there on the left. And you can see Mr. James from Ghana and the member of IFOAM. And in 2015 in Nigeria, where we participated in the Conference of Parties on Climate Change. We also participated in the Forum of Farmers, representing for the first time the interest of organic farmers for the first time. We work with those who are doing chemical farming and industrial farming. Between 2015, INOFO has been considered as an organization. There's too much interference. That's why you could see that I'm not being able to interpret him correctly, because I don't know if he's somewhere.
Le conseil des convocateurs qui a été élu.
So this is the Council of Conveners,
Donc, vous avez vu deux
as you can see on the picture.
on était tous circulés.
So from 2008, then from 2014, and there were some changes.
Dire que c'est une
Of course,
nouvelle.
these changes mean that this is structure that is evolving.
Ils ont quitté.
It doesn't mean that these people have left, but they are there. But it's only the leadership that has changed, as you can see,
Une certaine diversité.
to represent some diversity in the functioning of the INOFO. For now, the INOFO, there is a small office where the president, Shamika Mone from India, the secretary is Famara Jedu, myself talking to you, and the person that is our reporter or the person in charge of external relations is Sébastien Mittmer from Germany.
Donc, quels sont nos domaines?
What are our focus areas? Strategic focus area.
On parle de politique.
When we talk about policy or the program, I would like us to,
Avoir de la
how do we influence to have the space in these institutions? We need to recognize that the farmers should take their own place. So we work also on the issue of soil and science, on which soil, soil the farmer should work. We work also on the issue of seeds. Should we work with these companies that are making seeds, and also the access to markets? It's not that it is the least important, but this is the access to market is very important, so that the farmers shouldn't be considered as a poor. When we talk about the organic farming, we are trying to find systems or to work to reinforce the system of certification, and so that we can guarantee as a good alternative, and INOFO is playing in that role. What are the progress that we've done so far?
The
FIDA, IFIDA, has opened the door for the organic farming through INOFO. It's something that we need to applaud for ourselves. Secondly, the Congress on African Congress on Organic Farming has considered INOFO as the lead for the farmers. During the Congress on Africa, we showed the example that African could gather themselves so that they can talk about organic farming. This has never existed until 2015. And at the World Congress, for the 3 years, there is a space that we call the IFOM of farmers, which is managed by, or which is co-managed by INOFO. Whoever knows that farmers didn't have the space in this forum, and finally we can say that another milestone that we should applaud ourselves. We have now a standing for a seat in the forum. In the next Congress, there will be a seat that will be reserved for the INOFO, so which will be next year. The current president of INOFO, so we need to support the candidacy. There are some challenges that we need to also mention. We have different cultures, different languages, and so we work mostly on advocacy and concrete actions and the interest of our members. We worked in 2000 and from 2008 up to now,
des agents sont payés, ils sont rémunérés.
These full-time staff should be paid so that they can work on a daily basis. And I think we are, Another challenge that we need to also mention, and I've already mentioned about it, in many fora, things are changing. The image of farmers, they see farmers as a poor, not only poverty in the sense of economics, but even in terms of the knowledge. So we need to work very hard so that the farmer should be seen as someone who has knowledge. Another challenge on which we are working is the organization and the structure. So the mandate that we have from 2017 up to now, so we are working on putting the structure for the organization. We need to accept it. So we need to get in touch with the donors and so forth and so on. This requires a strong organization. And so the mandate of the organization and the issue of funding. We do have some opportunities also. There are also opportunities, as I was saying. We need to create the growth. So from what Inofo is doing, the issue of family farmers, and especially organic family, the growing recognition of Inofo, and the cooperation with Germany. So they are recognizing the role of Inofo. Everywhere, it is being recognized, the role of Inofo, to say that the alternative is the organic farming, and this is an organization that is doing it. Then, lastly, the growing acceptance of the science and the resilience and the biosphere as an ultimate goal to protect. So this is what I wanted to present. Before I say thank you, this is the strong message that we have. Let the farmers, they've talked themselves. We don't need a middle person or a middleman to talk on behalf of the farmers. These are some images in the world to show the work of the farmers. And I thank you. If you allow me, and I'm going to introduce the next person that is going to do the next presentation, and to talk about why we are working, and it's Inofo that has went into relationship with SIDA in the world or dialogue in terms of and Inofo said that to say that we need also explain as people are involved in organic farming, what are we talking about? This world system of food before we go to that summit. The next person is Madame Claire. Madame Claire Enom. She's from Togo. She's in the organization called the network, African Network for the Right to Food. Long time ago, they took this issue to show that this is the matter that they're working on, and each year there are indicators that are showing us that we need to go that route, to say that you cannot find the best person than Madame who is in Togo, but she's managing this network, Madame Claire. If you are available, you can give us a talk about this summit.
Because this is very important to us, very important in the sense that what is decided at the UN level will also be perhaps pushed to the governments, and governments will implement, and eventually as small-scale farmers we shall be suffering the consequences. That's why we need to get involved all the way ourselves, so that even if we give inputs that are not taken up, we shall have spoken what we think. So thank you very much, Anne, and hopefully eventually we are going to have a process that we can trust.
Yes,
Okay.
it's okay. We can hear you.
Je disais que
I was saying that I didn't know that we had
je n'ai
more English-speaking delegates.
présenté le texte
Because of this, I didn't prepare the text on which I was going to talk. So I'm going to speak in French and respond to questions that were proposed to me. So I was asked to talk about the UNSS. It means the Forum of UN on the norms of sustainability standard, yes.
les normes volontaires
These standard
durabilité
of sustainability standard,
spéciales
these are special rules that guarantee that the products that you buy are not damaging the environment, even for the person that are producing them. That these standards have got a certain volume. These standards emphasize on the sector, on the forestry, the agriculture, and the fishery. These standards are focused on the environmental factors such as the production, the protection of ecosystems, or the reduction of CO emissions, and there is also the social protection and the right of the workers. These standards considered the small farmers, the producers in the developing countries, and they cover a certain scope of environment in the production process, and they are there to promote the good practice and the continuous advancement in the production process. I would like now to talk about the objectives of this forum. The forum is established so that we can have information for the analysis and discussions of these voluntary sustainability standards on the environment. This forum allows the dialogue, a proactive dialogue and a strategic one on the policies and the national experiences and on the program of governance that are linked to the voluntary sustainability standard. This forum is there to be the catalyzing or catalytic space for the dialogue between public and private in the design and the implementation of policies. This forum has the role as to ensure the interaction between institutions and experts at the public and the private level, and the interaction between institutions, experts, and the policy makers. The forum analyzes the work of institutions to produce reliable information on the voluntary sustainability standard and provide knowledge to the actors. The forum go through the conferences and the meeting of experts and case studies and technical missions. I would like now talk about what this forum can bring to the small farmers. The forum of the UN on the voluntary sustainability standard allows to bring the information or to the producers to link the producer and to play this bridge between among the producers and to promote and the sharing of good practices. I would like to finish my intervention, my speech, by presenting, giving you some quiz. Is this forum going to be like any other conference, or this forum on the voluntary sustainability standard? Is it not going to leave out the farmers behind? It means that farmers, are they not going to be submerged or swamped in these big conferences where we see big companies and industrialists who can protect the need of the small farmers versus the need of these big companies? And I would like also to ask this question: who ensures that there is a capacity building of these small farmers, so that to ensure that there is active participation in this forum? Who should ensure this capacity, particularly for the producers and in the developing countries, so that they can conform to this sustainability standard? This year, 2021, there is this summit, World Summit on the food systems. This summit will be in September in New York, and there is a pre-summit that will take place in July in Rome. It has been requested to countries to organize themselves so that they can do the analyze the situation of food systems, and FAO talks to countries so that they can organize themselves, so that they can also bring their input. Based on the information that I have, it appears that many countries have not yet put in place these, they haven't prepared themselves so that they can prepare this World Summit on the food systems. So the civil society organizations and producers organizations, we need at the national level to organize so that we can be able to participate to that summit. The producers and the defenders of these rights, social cultural rights, the summit will put in place the experts from the government and the companies. So we need they need to hear the voice of the farmers, particularly those that are in family farming and organic farming. Before this summit, it is important for us at the national level to find out how countries should participate in that summit. At the forum level on the sustainability standard.
volontaire
So
aux paysans.
these voluntary standards, we have to give the information, the contact to the farmers, the sharing of good lessons. So because of this, we need to organize ourselves very well so that we can share the lessons, the experiences, the information at the national as well as at the level of our networks in Africa, so that the voice of the producers of family farming and the producers in the organic farming, these voices should be heard in that summit. This is what I wanted to add. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
We want to bring on board or to bring in the next speaker, who is Anne. Anne is the CEO of Biodiversity and Biosafety Coalition of Kenya. They have been doing a lot of advocacy work, and she is also very well versed with what is happening with UN Food System Summit, and she is also going to mention a bit she knows about the whole process and what the implication could be and what it might affect us later once the decisions have been made. And I don't know whether you can hear us. We want to welcome you here, and you speak to us, and maybe we also want to reserve as much time as possible for the conversation in the plenary session for all of us, so that we can all give we can have our questions, and we can also have our input, so that we can inform the summit as it's going to happen in July. So thank you very much, Madam. So you'll come back later, especially in the plenary. We shall also need to hear you again. Thank you very much. And please, if you're there, come in.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wanjama, and thank you for the organizers. I think it has been a good few presentations that we've listened to, and thank you to Famara, who is the Secretary General. I was asked to speak about some of the issues that civil society are critical or have raised regarding the UN Food System Summit. And one of the reasons why you're finding a lot of civil society organizations boycotting this process, or rather even having alternative food system summit, is the situation where it is placed. For a fact, we have been facing very many challenges related to hunger. I think statistically, we've read that almost 250 million people in Africa, about 20% of Africans go to bed hungry. And so here we have a process where the head of the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, Dr. Agnes Kalibata, is appointed as the special rapporteur or special envoy to the UN Food System Summit in 2021. One of the challenges or the issues we have with the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA, is that AGRA, since its establishment in 2009, I have to remember, they have spent almost $1 billion US. They have been received almost $1 billion US. In Kenya, that's 100 billion Kenya shillings. And AGRA is located in Nairobi, Kenya, the headquarters. And yes, this money, we have not seen the biggest impact it has had on the lives of farmers. AGRA has, for many years, pushed an agenda where farmers have been locked into systems where they get hybrid seeds. They go into these loans where they go to the agro dealers, get seed. They don't have a right to choice on the kind of seed they grow. They get the fertilizer, they get the pesticides. And yet we are promoting organic farming. And so we have a big issue with that. But apart from that, there are several conditions we, as even belonging to members of the Alliance for Food Sovereignty in Africa, where we have raised several issues and are demanding. We are demanding a transition to agroecology. Agroecology is fundamental in the organic agriculture, And it's important, especially looking even at the recommendations that have been made even by the high-level panel, recommending that agroecology is the way to go. Agroecology might sound as a big word, but it is basically organic agriculture which we practice. And we have farmers here today who have practiced this for many years. And we are calling for support for farmers to transition to agroecology. Unfortunately, the process at the UN system, especially looking at the World Food CSM, the World Food Security System, where most civil society are unable to engage, the process is being taken over by corporates of these big multinationals, the likes of Bayer, Monsanto now we call them because Bayer has bought Monsanto. The multinationals are keen to develop and control seed. As you know, like in Kenya, the seed laws that we have in Kenya do not recognize farmer-managed seed systems, what the farmers save, and do not recognize even the practice that they have practiced for many years. And so we are calling that this process is taken over by the CSM, which is housed under the FAO, so that we can have a process that includes issues of agroecology. We also want the establishment of a clear track where food sovereignty is recognized. Today, if you look at the challenges many people are facing, especially with the COVID-19, many people have lost jobs, and we have recognized the importance of family farmers. Farming that is practiced at the household level, producing your own vegetables, producing your own grains, your own beans, your own pulses for food security, because at the end of the day, the world prices are quite high. And it is unfortunate that these transnationals or multinationals are trading with our grains at the world level. It is a stock exchange commodity. And so the prices keep on rising, and the cost of fuel keeps on rising because of the many challenges that we are facing as people living in Africa. And so we also call for the recognition of traditional knowledge. Quite often, traditional knowledge has been relegated to the back, and people have said, no, we don't want to practice traditional knowledge practices because we want to be modernized to do agribusiness. But at the end of the day, agribusiness is good. It will bring an income for the farmers, but you practicing what? And so calling for food sovereignty to be recognized, and at that, seed sovereignty. If you go to countries like Tanzania and Uganda, even if they are signatories to UPOV 91, these are some of the protocols at the international level that define how to people practice their seed knowledge and who is recognized as a breeder. They have to some extent recognized farmer managed seed systems, and even if it's confined to a few districts or villages, it still is recognized. But in some countries, like in Kenya, where we are based, this is something that is being a challenge. Maybe an example as I can give recently, there was a lot of talk just in the last 2 weeks where we had the livestock bill that was coming up, and it was going to outlaw smallholder farmers keeping bees in their homes. They had to get licensed, and in the name of control. And so there was a lot of hue and cry from Kenyans until the parliament had to withdraw that bill for relooking. We are now seeing situations where even to grow potatoes, to grow green grams or mangrams is going to be an issue that's going to be require regulation, crop inspectors. And this is a big challenge for people in Africa, for people in Kenya. And it's actually something that would like to raise at that UN level in such a food summit, but the leadership has to be within the confines of the Committee on Food Security, because that's where civil society have a say, and the civil society would also have to want to have a say in all tracks that are discussed in this committee. So to allow for more discussions, I'll keep my points up to there, calling for a legitimate process, because we are the people who matter. We are the smallholder farmers. Asante sana.
In where I'm seated, if you can see behind me, There is so many farmers groups who are here, and they also want to participate. They also want to give their views, and I'm sure also in the other people who are joining various locations, they also want to give their views and participate effectively. And the questions are not to be answered by anybody else. The questions will be answered by the people who are here. It's not special experts, or it's all of us, small scale farmers. We have a lot of wisdom, of a lot of practices and common sense. So we can all answer the questions. So Shamika, do you want to say something before we open the floor?
Yeah, there's nothing more to add, as said already by the earlier two speakers, which has already set the tone of the discussion. But I would just, again, this was said by them, but what are your ground challenges as farmers? It is for you to let us know what are the challenges you are facing in the existing food systems, and what are the solutions that you can prescribe to the UN Food Systems Summit as a small farmer in your region. So we will note down all the points that you will include, you will say, you will discuss, and those points will be then summarized into a report from Africa, which will then be collated into the Global Organic Farmers Report as a position from Innofo. So I welcome you all to open up and please discuss among yourselves as to how you want your food systems to be. Yeah, over to you, Wanjama. That's it for my side.
Thank you, Shamika. Shamika is the president of Innofo, and she is very global, as you see her. She is in India, and we are getting her here. Now, you have heard her. What are these challenges that we are facing on the ground in the current food system, and what is it that you would want to have improved? In my room, there are so many people. Maybe I'll give them a chance first. Maybe I give 2 or 3 people a chance first to talk. The people who are on the Zoom who can maybe say something through the Zoom, they can raise their hand. You can raise your hand using the facility, the function to raise hand on the Zoom, and you shall be able to see it, and we shall give you an opportunity. But I can see one hand raised by Gansham, but we are not going to give you opportunity first. First of all, I give 2 people in this room to comment or ask question. And I want to give this opportunity to Sunkuri. You can come and ask your question here, or make your comment here. And you need to maybe to be without your mask so that people can see you.
Daniel?
Yes, Janet?
If possible, people who are asking questions, if they could type it into chat. If not, then if they could repeat their question twice so that it is clear.
Yeah, they can repeat. I think repeating is easier than chatting because we are using one computer, several people.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't know how I expect you to talk when you are mute. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Joseph Sunkuli. I'm a farmer based in Rongai and seed savers. My area of concern is about chemicals. My question is to prevent manufacturers of harmful chemicals in the market. And the solution is to have an institution set in place to cross-check all chemicals in order to detect the harmful chemical being taken from the market.
Good. Did you get his question properly? Maybe for capturing?
Yes, I've got it. Thank you very much.
Very well. Thank you, Sukuri.
Daniel, just one thing while we have an interruption. Could we ask everyone to make sure that their mics are on mute, except for those that are talking?
Thank you, Janet. I think we have heard you clearly. Try to mute yourself. Let's have another question from Ryan. Where is Ryan? Dunia mzima inakungoja. Okay, so.
I'm Rael Waidira from Kenya, Gilgil, a farmer, and I would like to ask a question on how small-scale farmers can benefit from the meeting that will be held. And we will ask a question again, how small-scale farmers will be protected. Or are they going to be protected, or they are going to be swallowed by larger organizations? So there is two suggestions. We would like either the small county government or national government or an NGO to come to the ground and talk to the farmers. Second, let all farmers, large and small scale farmers, get free market when selling their crops.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rael. I think we are getting the farmers' concerns. We have seen there is concerns with harmful chemicals, especially in Kenya. I know we have so many chemicals that are not allowed to be used in Europe, but they are used here. And that is a concern of the first farmer. And the other concern I have also seen with the second farmer is that there is some issue with also access to market. I know you have also captured the rest. And I can see there is also someone raising hand, someone called Gasham. Is it Gansham or Gunshot or something like that? We want to allow you to ask your question. Can you go ahead, Gansham?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, talk now. Ask your question.
Yes, I am Gansham Siboran from Mauritius and from Falcon Association. I would like to request, because we have seen that we in Mauritius we have a lack of land.
Gansham, we don't hear you.
I will. You don't hear me? Now you can hear me? You can hear me now? You can hear me?
As the interpreter, I can hear you.
I can hear you now. But someone called Lucia, you should mute yourself.
It's already. Oh, it's unmuted. Okay, you can hear me now.
Yes, we can. I can hear you, sir. Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Continue with your question. We can hear you, Gansham.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Yes. So I was asking that if it is possible that to put in the food system summit dialogue, that we countries to have organic zones in countries. Just like in Mauritius, we need to have an organic zone. So we have a lack of land. So the government can put in place land for farmers and organic zones. This is one thing. And the second thing is that we have a very big problem with soil tests. So we cannot do organic if we cannot do what we have, the quantity of mineral in our soil. So it is important to have the put in place in every region of the country a small mini laboratory so that farmers can go and do their soil tests. That is the second thing. And the third thing is that the certification to encourage farmers with the PGS certificate in all the countries. And because we have seen that the certification, other certification is very expensive. And there is a lot of exploitation of the certification with the farmers. So there's a company that we buy and they put their name on the certification that the farmers is not recognized. So it is important to have a policy with the recognition of the farmer's name on the certification. That's all my recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ganson. I think, Janet, you have captured the questions, you have captured the suggestions, and if you have not, maybe you will follow a bit with him again. I can see someone called David. You want to say something, and we want to give you an opportunity to say it. David Givenji. You can say where you are and ask your question.
Yeah, I'm David Givenji. I'm a student doing agriculture. Currently, I'm in Meru in an organic farm known as Biointensive Organic Farming Training Center. And my question and my concern is that how many agricultural training centers do we have here in Kenya that they are training farmers to carry out farming on a small scale in an organic way? And if we get the number of the agricultural training centers that we have within Kenya, how are they distributed in our counties? And how are they run? How many farmers understand that there is existence of the ATCs here in Kenya? And if they are, like currently where I am, yes, it is an ATC, but the number of farmers visiting here for training, it is very low. It is very less. No farmers are coming, maybe due to COVID-19. It is my point of concern that we can try to raise the awareness of farmers who understand how the ATC works. Most ATC in Kenya, they are inorganic and they're using chemicals and to dress in the fertilizers. But the little agricultural training center that we have in Kenya, they are not even known. Their area of location is not known by Kenyans. That is my greatest concern. Maybe we can come up with how we can raise more institutions like agricultural that are carrying out organic farming. And I think making advertisement of them, the farmers can get access to them and get that training on how to manage small-scale farming in an organic way. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Givenji. I can say your concern is people are not getting proper training. The people, probably the training that is available is only on industrial farming technologies or farming that are not sustainable. And what you are raising is very important. Thank you very much. I hope we are capturing all that. I want to give this opportunity to another person in this room where we are, and have this person ask a question, and this is going to be Anthony. Anthony, you can come forward to ask your question or to give your comment.
Nafikiri nitaongea lugha ya taifa.
He's going to speak in Swahili.
Ningependa kujua jinsi ambavyo mnaweza kusaidia mkulima mdogo ambaye anatumia organic. Na pia
how can you support small scale farmers who are using organic methods in certification?
Yeah.
Yes, in certification.
Na pia ningependa kujua jinsi gani ambavyo angeweza kutusaidia kujiinua katika ukulima wetu.
Okay. He is also concerned with the level of income of the farmers. How can Summit contribute to making sure that farmers' income improves? Small farmers' income.
Yeah.
Good.
Sina mengi ni hayo.
Thank you. That is all what he had. Yeah. I think certification has been mentioned twice. There are some places where there is very, very little enforcement on food safety, but there is very strong enforcement of food safety that is going for export, especially here in Europe. But what is here is not looked at properly in terms of seeing what it is, and also certification in terms of making sure that it's organic. It's too expensive, not accessible to small farmers, and also farmers are becoming poorer and poorer over the years, as Anne mentioned. Even with so much intervention, how can we make sure that we have programs to improve farmers' income? So thank you very much, Anthony. We're also going to have another small farmer make a comment, and this farmer is JJ. JJ, are you here?
I'm here. Okay. Thank you. My name is Joseph Stephen Mwangi. I come from Rogai in Nakuru County. My main concern is we as small-scale farmers, we are going through a lot of challenges as when we are doing our farming. There was a time, our country taking the agriculture is now devolved into counties. Now, there's a time it was said farmers will not be using compost manure. They must use DAP or fertilizers, and if we will be found using compost manure, it will be prosecuted. My question is, if this summit will not guard the small-scale farmer, where will small-scale farmer end up to? My suggestion, small-scale farmer should be given freedom to do his own farming and get his own seeds and save his own seeds. And if he want to do his own research, he can do his own research so that he will know which seeds are better in his area and what he can grow or she can grow within his area, so that he will benefit from what he is doing. Secondly, he should be given a good platform. If he is doing organic farming, he can sell to outside country without a lot of hindrances, or be given a platform where he or she can sell his produce, so long as it will not have chemicals residues. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, JJ. JJ is very much concerned on farmers' rights. The rights to use on-farm inputs, like what he mentioned, is very much real. There was an attempt to ban use of manure and make sure that everyone use fertilizers in Kenya. But advocacy made sure that that has been reversed, and they backtracked a bit. Maybe they'll come back later. And there is another attempt now to ban farmers from having bees, or even having bees, or having bees in their own farm. And there is also the right to choose which kind of seeds you can use, the right to even have access to market as a small farmer. So those are very genuine concerns that UN food system should look into. Small-scale farmers are suffering on various ways. Some of the laws that are being made are very oppressive to the farmers, and farmers want to enjoy all the rights that they should. And I don't know whether there is another question on the chat. Janet, I don't know whether you can see whether there is any question on the chat that can be asked. Otherwise, I could give this opportunity to the people in this room. Janet, are you there? Can you see any question on the chat?
This is Shamika. I don't see questions in the chat, but I also want to make a point that it's good we are getting all the questions from farmers, but also we should put forward the solutions that we see to the existing problems as the innovative farmers, because then those solutions will be taken up to the UN. So now you can also focus on the solutions if they have any.
Okay, I think they are also giving suggestions in terms of what they could, and of course what you have raised is good, Shamika. I think even the people, not just the farmers, even the other people in this Zoom meeting could also give some solution and answer some questions being asked by the farmers. But now I think I will go give this opportunity to Francis to be able to comment. Francis is also in this room. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Francis Giri, a small-scale farmer representative from a village called Makongo. My question is the summit aware that there is loss of our food diversity due to seed breeding in these modern agricultural technologies? And if they are aware, how are they going to assist us? Our suggestion is that as much as the world would like to harmonize their activities, food system in the world should be left to be diverse. It should be recognized, promoted, and also promoted by the world governments. In recognition, we would like to give suggestions that small-scale farmers should be assisted to form a fair legal channels of which they will be presenting their views and opinions. In protection, the summit should ensure that the government policies to include formal seed sectors, to regulate biopiracies, and also patenting of indigenous plants without prior informed consent from the farmers should be checked. Also on promotion, farmers should be funded in their informal food sector, seed sector. That is by assisting. We have running community seed banks, and the funding should be good there. We also need farmers, small-scale farmers, to be trained and also to be included in the researches that are being done on agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gire. I think those are very important genuine concern on loss of biodiversity or agricultural biodiversity that is continuously happening, and there is also a loss of varieties being privatized by private companies in regions such as here. And the concerns are very important, and how the summit should also include that as a discussion, and protecting local varieties and ensuring that informal seed system is not criminalized as it is in Kenya today. So thank you very much, and those are also very important comments that should be taken into considerations. We are also going to get some comment now from Joki. from Joki. Joki is also in this room, and she is also going to tell us what is her concerns. She also looks like a youth.
Hello, my name is Njoki. I'm a young organic farmer, and my main concern is I would like to propose, if it's possible for the summit to assist us young farmers who are trying to grow our produce organically to be able to produce a variety of foods. Sometimes we produce something that we might not know what it is used for, and then at the end of it we have to either export it, and then maybe it's brought back to us in form of pills or any other processed sorts of food. So I was suggesting that would there be some program that can come and give awareness to most farmers about the foods that they produce. Like apparently I've heard of a farmer who has grown asparagus and does not know what it is used for, and they end up selling everything, and the same what can I say, the same benefits that she can get from asparagus, she has to go to a hospital to be able to get treatment. So I was asking, would this summit help come and create awareness and educate us about the benefits of many foods that we sell, we produce and only think they're for exportation, and maybe we could use them locally for ourselves before exporting them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Joki is very much concerned on how to eat and how to get benefit from various products that farmers are producing, and even how perhaps variation can be done to improve on aspects of markets. I think those are her comments, and of course we'll be happy to hear some comments from people who are here on the way they are addressing themselves those kind of issues that we are facing, and of course it's also good to first of all get concerns of everyone so that we can get to that point of hearing working that could be copied by people. So thank you very much, Joki. I can mute them. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you're surprised I've done it. So thank you very much. Now we are going to have another comment from another small-scale farmer, Mr. Inaina, and we let's get what his concern or his comment is regarding the summit. Philomena, where are you? Mute yourself.
There.
Okay.
Yes, I am Wainaina from Kikwape, Gilgil, Kenya, a small-scale farmer. My question is, how will the summit help the small-scale farmer improve in his or her farming and do it effectively and get market for your commodities? We have another question is, how will this summit see to it that farmers are getting freedom to use their farm as they want and the government not interfering, provided the organic farmer is growing food and crops which are not illegal? We have suggestion that small-scale farmer be given freedom to use their farm as they like, And also, let there be market for organic farmer and minimize the requirement to be organic farmer. In giving organic, this is when giving organic farmers certificates, let there be minimized, because some of the small-scale farmers, we don't have that money. We cannot be able to get that certificate. We want that one to be looked at, and farmers and small-scale farmers be given certificates, and also the government to set paths whereby farmers in the market can go and have somewhere in the market to sell their organic farm, so that people can come there and they know that here, if we go here, we can buy organic products from small scale farmers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wainaina. I want to give this opportunity to Philemon. Philemon, are you there? I think you were attempting to talk and you are not able to talk. We muted you and we don't want to disappoint you. We want to also get your comment.
Hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Because you have joined in two separate groups. So we are having echo and something else. You are mute. You are mute now. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm okay now. Yeah, I think I'm okay. Yeah. So my concern was how can the young people involved in this climate food production? Yeah, because that most of them are shying away from farms and I did a business plan and I realized that that as young people can actually make a lot. People are making some good money on the same. So you don't know if the program has got some some means of involving the young people, the youth in this particular program in promoting its objectives. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Philemon. I think you had a very important point. That's why you kept on unmuting yourself. Like, how should summits involve young people in the discussion? That is important. And yeah, some people might be having a solution here, but it will also be a suggestion that people should be able to have. And I think that is something that need to be captured. Like, the summit should be concerned. How are we involving young people? While young people will be affected by the most of the decisions that are going to be made at the summit. So thank you very much for. But you have to mute yourself. Oh, someone else. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. We are going to have also another question or another comment from someone in this room too. But this room is very representative. It's almost representing all the small-scale farmers. Actually, there are more women in this room than men. It's only that the women have chosen to, most of the time, hand over the what they want to say to the men seated next to them. So, but most of those suggestions are actually done by women. And we want to give this opportunity to Stephen, for Stephen to say something. And Stephen, if you can hear me, you should be coming here so that you are able to raise your issue.
Thank you, sir. Hello, guys. My name is Stephen. I am a young man in agribusiness, and I have two questions. I'll jump to it. Number one, small-scale farmers need more information and need a more direct channel to communication between the county government and the national government and any other stakeholders. How can this summit help us initiate this channel? My second question is, and how can this discussion and the UN Food Summit help us become more visible to the Kenyan government and internationally? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. I can see our concerns are quite many. I believe, Janet, you have captured quite a few. I can see our time is coming to an end. I don't know whether anybody else has any other concern or comment that they can raise as we come to the end of this process. I can see another friend of mine here who always want to say something, and he should say it. I know he's not going to take long. Joseph, if you can hear me, you can say something as we come to an end. Sides, Joseph Sides, yeah? Unmute yourself. I think you are still talking to yourself. We can't hear you. But let me have a look at the chat. I don't want to close this before we ask all the questions. David, there is someone called David. I don't know whether you are here. You could ask the question that you are trying to raise in the chat. Okay. Yeah, but I think as we come to an end, I would like to have Famara make a comment about maybe some questions being asked by other people on the other side, and see how we are coming to a close of this. Famara, if you are there. Abel, you need to mute yourself.
Merci Daniel pour la facilitation et merci
much Daniel for the moderation.
Les personnes qui ont posé
thank you very much to all the people that have asked questions and they gave comments and those who are there, but
j'ai compris et vu que l'essentiel des questions
talk
sur comment on devrait nous prendre en compte. C'est ça que j'ai ressenti. Et de ma part,
and that's what I heard from my side.
Utiliser au maximum
as we
Franchement, j'attendais à
We would like to use at the maximum these spaces, political spaces, so that our participants are saying that this is what should happen. So we need to use those spaces. So if we wait until they involve us, they will only leave us the crumbs, or they will only leave us things that they think that they are good for us, whereas they are not. So I think that as actors in the organic farming, to support these organic farming, we need the grant, or as it is with the other forum of agriculture, we need the financing, particularly financing the grant with regard to the input, so that we can go to our self-reliance, because this organic farming, it is the return to the initial agriculture where the farmer is free. So if everyone is talking about organic farming, and it is the return to the normal. So today, as if we are just at the tail end, because it seems that we are in a traditional kind of agriculture, but everyone wants to go at the tail end. This African agriculture, you don't need it, because we are at the far front. Because I'm not going to give many comments, but my request, I've got two requests. Let them give us the grant more than the other form of agriculture, and they should post in specific mechanism of funding this organic farming. So this is what I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Famara.
Merci.
Janet, we want you to make some comments as we come to an end. Janet is INOFO convener in South Africa region, and we would like to hear her voice and opinion. Janet, if you're there.
Thank you, Daniel. It was really awesome to see farmers being able to present themselves on a platform like this with their questions. And we have recorded this dialogue that we've had, and I appreciate the input of the farmers coming up and expressing their voices. We will be able to take additional questions in a written form after this for a very short period of time. And if anyone wants to submit additional questions or solutions to our problems as small-scale farmers, we have got a number of issues. And if our voices collectively highlight the same issues all over the world, it brings a bigger voice to our report that we will be submitting to the Food Systems Summit. So from my position as a small-scale farmer as well, I appreciate to hear that we are very united in our common problems of bringing youth into agriculture, of ensuring our own access to market in our local environments, ensuring we get better value for our product that we present to market, that we actually are able to ask higher prices for our product and not just lose it in the supply chain. So I think that's all that I have to comment on today. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you very much. Would like to look for Olawomi. Olawomi, I don't know why you are here. Olawomi, are you here? Olawomi is INOFO convener in
I don't think she's joined. I don't think she's joined, Daniel.
Any other person? Charles? Julie? They are not here, yeah? Thank you. I think they are not here. So I think then we come to an end of this, and Shamika, you give closing remarks, and we end it here. Shamika.
Thank you, Wanjama. I have nothing more to add, as we have heard all the problems and solutions and suggestions from farmers across. And it was a wonderful session to have everybody here in the room as well as in the Zoom room to contribute into the dialogue. So thank you for giving and mentioning your opinion freely. And if you have any other questions that you want to raise, which will come to you after this session, please don't forget to email it to us. And our contacts will be given in the chat now, and you can give your questions if you have any after this session. But yeah, I would like to just thank Wanjama for facilitating this wonderful session. All the farmers who have come from their cropping season, left their farm and came here, made efforts to travel and give their time for raising their questions. So yeah, thanks to all of you for participating. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We say bye to everyone. We hope what we have spoken here as our input will be considered at the summit, and we very much look forward to better outcome as in the discussion of food system summit. So thank you very much. We beg to end the meeting here.
Small request to have a group picture. So if everybody can put their videos on, we can have a group picture with also the farmers in the room.
How is that going to happen, Shamika?
I will take the picture, no problem. Just put on your videos who have videos facility and be there. I will take a screenshot, no problem.
So I also walk a bit back so that so many people.
Don't worry, all the speakers who contributed have taken their screenshots already, so you are already in. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, we say Kwaheri. Thank you very much.